Hi, my name is Igor, and this is the List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle.
Welcome back to another edition of the List Building Lifestyle with your host, Igor K-Fets. This week we're continuing with the Sun Tzu's Art of War, and I now call these principles the Art of Igor, where I'm showing how Sun Tzu's Art of War principles apply to life, business, and marketing. And so last week we've covered 3 great principles, and this week we're going to carry on and going ahead and cover some more. Okay, so if you're excited, let's just go ahead and dive right in. Now, here's a great principle that I believe is essential for any marketer to successfully build a thriving business, a thriving organization, 6, 7, 8 figures, and that is victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. Now, it kind of ties back to what we've talked about last week, where we mentioned, the self-image, the whole idea of you got to believe in yourself. And many of Sun Tzu's principles are repeated actually throughout the manuscript, only stated in a different way, which I think is a great thing because repetition is essential to learning and to implementation. So victorious warriors win first and then go to war. What it basically means, as far as I'm concerned, for marketing, it means you have to assume the sale. In other words, if you're going out there and you're creating a product or you're creating an offer or you're making an offer to the marketplace, really not knowing whether or not they'll accept it, not knowing whether or not the marketplace is actually willing to spend money for it, then you're actually doing it the other way around. What needs to happen is you first need to figure out what people are already buying, what people are already successfully saying yes to, and then give it to them, right? Assume that sale, win that war before you actually start it, because if you go out in the marketplace and you test a product, what will happen is you'll create a new thing, you'll find something, or you'll build something. It's going to cost you time and money and energy and effort, and then you'll find out that the market just doesn't want that. And I've done it many times myself. The first 2 products that I've put together for this marketplace actually were complete failures. Collectively, I sold 3 copies. I made less than $50 altogether, and that was because I was going off bad data. I didn't really go off of what really converted and what really sold, and I just tried to offer people things that they weren't willing to buy. And so I lost that war before I even got into it. So I highly recommend first winning the war and only then getting into it, and never to go to war without having proof, evidence, data, or anything like that showing that you will win it before you even start it. The next principle, to know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Now, this is great, and this is beyond the cliche of like, to catch a criminal, you got to be a criminal, or to catch a psychopath, you got to be a psychopath. Like in that famous Sylvester Stallone movie where he's trying to catch Wesley Snipes, and the Wesley Snipes guy just has literally 0 boundaries and 0 principles, no ethical or moral values whatsoever, and he's just crazy. And it's a really cool movie with Stallone and Sandra Bullock and Wesley Snipes. So basically what this principle really comes down to in marketing is you have to understand your customer before you go talk to your customer, before you attempt to market or sell anything to your customer. And of course, that comes back to know thy market, know thy customer, know thy enemy. This principle is so powerful actually that in my most recent newest program called the List Building Lifestyle Masterclass, that's still not publicly on sale, so don't go looking for it, okay? It's only available by invite only, and we will be opening the doors to the general public a little bit later this year. In that program, I spent 4 hours, the first 4 hours of coaching, showing you who your target customer, target market is. Okay, it is that important because that's where you win and lose the war before it begins. If you know exactly who you're dealing with, you will know exactly what to say, exactly how to say it, exactly how to offer it, how to position it in order to successfully make money as a marketer, in order to successfully sell whatever it is that you're selling to your potential clients. Okay, and you can only do that by knowing your enemy before getting involved with the enemy. Of course, the catch-22 is, how do you know your enemy if you never worked with how do you know your market, how do you know your target prospect if you never worked with them before? Okay, and that is of course something that comes with experience, and of course for this I recommend getting some coaching and really finding out how to talk to your target market to make money and to convert better. Okay, so let's see the next principle. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. So this is a great principle. It reminds you of always staying alert, always staying on your toes, always being aware of your surroundings and your situation, always being thinking ahead and being practical. Because even if you do have the best tools, the best people working with you, the best joint venture partners, if you have the best marketplace position, if you have the best budget, if you have the best everything, okay, still just over time, just by the passage of time or just the natural forces in the marketplace, you can still lose it all, which is why you can't get complacent. Okay, you can't get complacent. It is absolutely critical that you don't get complacent if you want to maintain your position in the marketplace. So again, like the way they put it, the way Sun Tzu puts it is beautiful, just in terms of like the actual saying, the actual sentence. But the translation is, don't get complacent, because even just salt water just can make your sword rust. The next principle, he will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. This is beautiful because what I'm seeing out there, and this is a mistake business owners make in general, it's just people getting really excited about pitching, getting really excited about offering the products and services to others. It's the people who like really jump the gun sometimes. People who just want to sell all the time. And it's really not about that. You can't always be selling. There's time and a place for you to make a pitch. You can be marketing, but you can't be trying to close everybody 100% of the time. So you have to know and understand when to fight and when not to fight, when to close, when to go for the pitch, when to go for the kill, and when not to do that. Okay, you definitely need to understand the subtle timing of when and when you cannot do that. And again, let's just take coaching for example. Most people, if you approach them and you say, hey, I want to get coaching with you, they're going to try to quote you a fee right away, and they're going to try to sell you. Now, that is a mistake. When I was doing coaching, whenever people approach me saying, hey, Igor, I heard great things about you, what is your coaching cost? I would literally not let them have the satisfaction of finding out what my coaching cost, how it works, and how exactly am I supposed to help them. I would actually push them back. I would start questioning them. Why should I work with you? I would withhold information on purpose. I would really just pick my fights, if you will. I would engage them selectively, and if I couldn't engage them, I always had something for them to do. So for example, if it was a brand new person I've never worked before but who wanted for me to help them with their business, I've actually had a funnel that I would send them to with some content in it, which by the time they were done with the content, they were warmed up enough to a point of submitting an application, for example, right? So he will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight, because fighting is not something you do 100% of the time. So again, applying to marketing, it's pitching. Pitching and selling is not something you do 100% of the time. Marketing and influencing is something you do 100% of the time. Whether you realize it or not, you're always marketing. Everything you're saying is marketing. Everything you're doing is marketing. Everything other people are saying about you is marketing. Everything that your customers are saying and not saying is marketing. But to actually go and engage in a form of a sales conversation, for that you have to orchestrate the right moment. Okay, you can't go in and just do it. You can't go in and just randomly begin a sales conversation, because you will not make money, you will not close the sales, or at least you won't be closing even 1/10 of the sales you could be closing. You see this mistake all the time in network marketing. Network marketers are absolutely guilty of this mistake, because they try to recruit you into their program all the time. And it's enough that you have a heart, a wallet, and a pair of ears. They will tell you about their product, why it's the most amazing thing in the world, and why you should hop on this ground floor opportunity right now. But that is definitely a mistake. Another principle is he will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. So in this case, in my business, the way it comes to play is there's two different types of customers. Some customers are on a different level than other customers, and they hold different value to me than the people that are quote unquote average customers. So the average customer that, for example, approaches my traffic agency, that's just an average customer that is going to get an offer to get traffic, and they're going to get a certain type of offer in a certain way, and that offer is going to be made to them by Dennis, and that's fine. Now, another type of prospect, another type of potential customer that I will approach differently may be someone who I would consider to be a potential for a joint venture. For instance, recently we developed a great webinar which has been doing really well, where we would come in and do a joint venture with someone, where we would come in and teach their audience about traffic. And that webinar has been probably one of the better things we've done for Igor Solowitz in a while. And so naturally, if I come across a potential customer that can have that JV potential for me, not only I'm going to be the one to close that traffic sale myself rather than leaving it up to Dennis, but I will also pre-frame it and plant seeds throughout the conversation that will allow me to build on those after the fact, after the sale, to structure a joint venture relationship. So in other words, that would be a superior type of customer compared to the average customer who's only there to buy some clicks from me, right? There's a superior relationship as far as I'm concerned, and the future outlook is different for that relationship. So again, different types of customers, different types of relationships, treated absolutely differently. So he will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. So let's cover one more before we wrap up this episode, and that is he will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all its ranks. Now, this one comes down to the morale of your team and morale of your tribe. So there's two elements to it. If you're an internet marketer, and especially if you're a team builder, maybe you're involved with MLM, you can have two types of teams. The first team would be the kind of team that works for you, the kind of team that builds your organization with you by being a part of your employee team, right? People who are getting a paycheck, helping you build your business. It could be your support staff, your salespeople, your pretty much anyone who's a part of your team, and that your team has to have the identical outlook on what ideal outcomes look like. They need to have clear enemies outlined to them. They need to have the same philosophy throughout the entire set of ranks in the company, depending how big your company is. Now, I realize a lot of people out there are listening to this and they're like, yeah, Igor, but I'm a one-man or one-woman show. I really don't have a team per se. That's okay, but at some point you will, and when you do, you will need to invest as much time into building up your team's philosophy, guidelines, almost writing a book for it, right? Making sure your team understands exactly how they ought to think, at least within the boundaries of your business, as the time you're investing in marketing and other activities. Now, if we're talking about your team as in your tribe, your customer database, your team in your network marketing company or opportunity, that team must also be bred and grown with the exact same mindset in mind. So you want to make a list of all the things you feel your team members need to know, understand, and accept in order to work with you. For example, my list will include items such as Facebook is a bad traffic source, right? So in order to work with me, in order to become a member of my tribe, I will sell you on the idea that Facebook is just a crappy traffic source. If you reject that idea, there's a lesser chance of you being a part of my tribe, and with the first opportunity, you may leave. But if I'm successful at doing that, you will be sticking with my tribe for a long, long time. Another idea, some other ideas, may include email traffic rocks. You got to be building your list. Cheap traffic gets you cheap results. What else? Always use the squeeze page when you're driving traffic to make more money. Email follow-up is really important. So my quote-unquote army, right? And if I say army in terms of Igor's tribe, my list, my customers, my lifers, people who pretty much buy traffic from me every month and every week, these are the people that have took in my philosophy on many different levels, allowing us to form this really powerful tribe that's often considered to be one of the best tribes in the internet marketing space today. And I say that because every time we do a joint venture with anyone, we promote a product or we do a special offer to our list, or we do something, I always get the same thing from my joint venture partners, and that is, Igor, you're either the highest converting affiliate for me right now, or you're the second highest, standing only next to some guru out there who's been building their list for 20 years. It's always the same. And so the reason for that is because my army, the army of Igorites, okay, is always getting the same message. And I make sure that, look, if you want to work with me, you have to accept these facts. And I say facts in quotes because a lot of these become facts only after you accept them. So you have to accept these facts to be a part of my tribe. If you want to stay, these are the facts for you to embrace. If not, it's all good, no hard feelings. You may go because we live our life a certain way. We subscribe to a certain set of beliefs. So that's he will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all its ranks. That concludes the second episode, the second part of the Art of Igor. Next week, we're going to continue with more Sun Tzu's Art of War principles and how they apply to your life, business, and marketing. So until next time we chat, this is Igor K-Fitz. Have a good one.
Thank you for listening to The List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode. Because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share on the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor K-Fitz, and until next time we talk, have a good one.